Hey dreamers, hey survivors, hey thriver, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Michelle, the owner of adreamlife.com and your host, dream driver, and healer at Surviving Narcissistic Deception. I'm going to be honest with you. I am trying some new equipment, but it's not so new equipment. And I decided, let me make a video. If the video comes out like I want it to come out, I'm going to go ahead and publish it early. Instead of on Monday, I'm going to throw this extra video in there. And I'd like to do that more often. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you know somebody who you think could benefit from this video, be sure to share this video. And if you subscribe to my channel, thank you. I appreciate you. If you have not yet subscribed, subscribe now. And be sure to hit the bell notification so you can be alerted when I produce new videos, which is every Monday at around 3 p.m., between 2 and 3 p.m. But I really want to put a video out every day for 365 days about narcissism, which was part of my original plan that was not executed, but I want to put out 365 videos. Will I be able to do it in a year? I don't know, but maybe I could throw them in the feed. So hit the bell notification so you'll know when I do so. Every Monday we discuss narcissism, different aspects of what it means to be a narcissist and how that can affect you as the empath. But today I want to talk about, this is a healing video, right? Today I want to talk about us. And the question I've been asked a lot of times is, why do I keep attracting narcissists? You know, why do I have narcissists entering into my life? And this was a question I had even for myself, because once I finally realized that, excuse the background noise. Once I finally realized that I was constantly attracting narcissistic people in my life, I had to take a look at myself. And this is going to be one of the most empowering things that you will ever do when it comes to healing from narcissism. It's like this. Here's an example. Let's say every single day that you went out and you left for work, you tripped on a part of the sidewalk that you knew, that you know consciously is there, but you trip on it every day before you cross the street and go to the bus. That means that your subconscious mind kind of knows that you'll be okay tripping over this, but it's not really registering that something needs to change or something needs to happen. Now, normally that wouldn't happen. We wouldn't do that, right? We wouldn't keep on tripping in the same spot, right? Once we become conscious of it, right? Maybe that was a bad example, but I'm just trying to give you an example of just kind of repeating these mistakes. If you were to keep tripping on that particular spot, that would basically mean that you are not doing the work or doing what it takes, like maybe going around a different street so that you don't trip over there. But normally we would do that because this would become conscious to us. The thing about narcissists and these kind of people who attract us from the other end of the spectrum is that they are coming to us because we are on their frequency in some kind of way. You ever wanted something really bad, or wanted something even just a little bit, and you seem to get not what you want, and then what you want you don't get? So what you want and what you do get are two separate things. Why does that happen? Because what you want is at your conscious mind, this really small percent, this 10% of the mind's storage power that allows you to see what you really want, right? But what's really bringing to you what you really want and don't want? Your subconscious mind. Because it's the programming, the hardcore programming and deep-rooted beliefs that you have about yourself and the world around you that attracts what happens. Why does this happen? This is not some magical thing, right? We don't want the narcissist coming into our cipher. No. But what ends up happening is, deep inside of our subconscious mind, we have beliefs about ourselves that support the narcissist entering into our lives. What could those beliefs be? Because In your conscious mind, you have high self-esteem. You love yourself, and you would never put yourself in a situation where you're being abused, manipulated, misused, having somebody take you for granted. On the conscious level, no. But subconsciously, maybe it's allowed. Now, why would this be allowed? As I've mentioned to you guys before, like with myself, when you grow up in a home environment where your boundaries are not respected, let's say people are going in your book bag or going in your private spaces because they feel, hey, you're a child, it's my business to know what's in your diary or in your book. These are actual violations. There's a certain way that we need to go about that where we're not actually making kids feel violated. Because then when they get older and someone violates them, they don't really know how to protect themselves, right? They're stuck and frozen. And then we have to do this self-work. But what if somebody called you ugly? Or, what if you wanted attention because by nature we're defaulted to need a certain amount of attention. Attention meaning touch, love through words, love through actions, love through cipher. Love through cipher meaning the environment is filled with love. It's invisible, but you feel it. When you come in, the energy is good. It's welcoming. If you grew up in a family with an alcoholic or someone who was moody, bipolar, or, other personality disorders where this person sometimes will show you love and sometimes wouldn't, you might start to formulate the idea of love being something big, right? Like when a narcissist love bombs you, right? You might have just imagined one day just being able to come home and the people who were there really showed an interest in you, really admired you, really made you feel good because you weren't able to do this for yourself. And so you could have created a fantasy of what love would look like for you. But this is just a fantasy, right? Because if you don't have a real anything to go on what love looks like, that means that the ideas and the fantasies that you'll be constructing are probably incorrect. Love probably doesn't show up in a big black expensive car with someone serenading you and giving you money and taking you all around the world when they just met you. This is probably not real love, but you wouldn't know it because this fantasy came during a dysfunctional time. And so what happens is we start to have these belief systems that we're running on like this automatic program, and we don't know that in the back of our minds, deep in our subconscious, on a subconscious level, we believe that this is all we're worth. And our conscious mind is fighting us, right? And then we're having this internal fight about these people. But what we don't realize is that until we start to go inside and start asking ourselves questions like, here's an example, because as I said, this video is going to be short. Just wanted to throw this healing video out there. Let's say, for instance, when someone deceives you or cheats on you or does something that violates your trust, you feel awful, right? You would need to ask yourself, why? What about this situation is wrong? What makes this feel awful? This is how you go inside and figure out, what is it that is triggering these feelings in me? And then you answer that question for yourself. And you make it make sense to you, and you clean it up so it's not trauma related or connected to trauma. Why does it bother me if someone's being deceptive or lying to me or cheating on me? What are the reasons? List them. Is it because you feel that if you're in a relationship that you and that person should be monogamous? And if you feel that way, do you believe that you deserve or that you can actually be with someone who is just satisfied with you? Because if not, this is where the trauma lies. Because you might want something that you don't believe is necessarily out there, right? You might want to be the only one. Or let's just say you're in a job, like I like to do those comparisons, or you're in a career where you know someone who is making X, Y, Z, and you want to make that too, right? Why do you want to make that too? What do you think will happen if you made 6 figures or if you made more money? Where exactly would you distribute that money? How would it help you? Sometimes we don't ask ourselves these questions. What does it feel like to have less than what you feel you deserve or that you need to be able to sustain yourself or to have the experiences that you want? What does that look like for you? And once you figure out what that looks like for you and why you don't like or appreciate, or you have triggers or bad feelings when you're in the situation that you don't want, the situation that your subconscious mind is attracting, once you can answer that and figure it out, then you can start to reshape yourself internally to believe that you actually can have what you want. But first, you got to go through it. And this is for every situation in our lives that we have conflict with, because there's always, because we're growing and this is normal, there is a constant struggle between the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. Figuring out why we're getting more of what we don't want and less of what we claim that we want. And that's the reason, because what you claim you really want is on the conscious level when you're awoke. But that deeply subconscious self is the part of you that is pulling all the strings. If you say right now, I want to die, I hate my life, I just want to disappear. Imagine if your words had that much power on the conscious level. You would disappear, you would die. And this is why the subconscious is the part of us that is in control. And that's a good thing. But it's something that you have to work with. It's something that you have to create affirmations, you have to work on, you have to retrain it. It was meant to be strong for a reason. But a lot of us have a dysfunctional code, dysfunctional programming in our subconscious minds. But we still have to appreciate the subconscious mind, because that is the one that keeps your heart beating. That is the one that is communicating with a million cells and, duplicating the DNA in every cell. There's so much going on, even with my hands moving, everything. It's just amazing. But when it gets dysfunctional coding in there, it's just going to keep on putting that stuff out. It's going to keep on sending codes out into the universe, out through your behaviors, out through your micro expressions. Everything about you is going to keep attracting to you what you really believe about yourself on the subconscious level. And once you get clear with that, and you have a meeting of the minds where the subconscious mind meets the conscious mind, and they're in agreement, things will start to change. And we're going to get into this more. I just wanted to publish this video. So, love and light.